Hey, how's everyone doing? Thanks for tuning in to our live stream. I'm here with Brandon Saller of Atreyu and Highwater. We're about to do some roses on his arm, so thanks for tuning in, and stick around, ask us some questions, and hope you guys enjoy.
Enjoy. Dude, this is awesome.
Oh, you got it up?
Yeah.
How are you positioning? Is that cool?
Okay. Oh, it is. Time travel.
Yeah, it's crazy.
We're going.
See everyone getting spooked.
What's
I
that?
guess it's not gonna happen. So we're
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's crazy, dude. The angle change on that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
This dude says, "Sweet, I'll have some time to warm up some corn dogs before it starts."
Say how many people are in there.
Oh, 167.
Oh, that's cool.
It's funny, the sound, like the audio.
Yeah, that's how it picks it up. It's a little easier than the hand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon, why don't you promote your new album and tell everybody what's going on with it?
So, Highwater has an album coming out May 19th called Vista. You can pre-order it now. Pretty much everywhere you buy digital music. iTunes, Tidal, Amazon, wherever. Our new single, I Want It All, is available now also on Spotify or iTunes, same thing. Check it out. But yeah, get your pre-order. It's a good little ripper. We're stoked. It's been a long time coming, and I've been waiting a long time for this album to come out. So the time has come. May 19th, Vista the album.
That's exciting.
It is, man. We were just watching the video earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Videos on YouTube?
It's on YouTube, yeah. On our Highwater YouTube page. There's fast cars and money and babes and fighting and gambling. All in the video.
Does the baby make a cameo?
I wish. We actually took our first promo photos at Music. We took some promo photos where I'm holding my newborn girl.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's funny, it's like a Where's Waldo, because you don't really see her at first, because she just kind of blends into my jacket.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, he's holding a child.
That's cool.
Yep.
My wife and I were just talking about that, how like our day and age we'll have so many more videos and photos of our kids, you know?
Yep.
Cool.
We have these things called chat books. It's like every month or every 30 days it'll go off of your iPhoto and just make a book out of like your 60 liked photos. And then it just sends you a little like paperback book every month. So it's like you have a little photo album.
Oh, what's it called?
Chat book, right?
Yeah, I'll have to look that up.
Chat book. Free chat book advertisement. Oh, look what we got. Very nice. What kind of ink do you use?
Unfortunately, I can't reveal that on air because it's a trade secret. But
Oop.
I will say that
Secret
it's
ink.
black. If that
It's
helps.
black ink.
Yeah.
Top secret.
Yep.
I got a question for you. Huge fan, you're a big inspiration. May I ask you, do you heat your liners or do you use loose rounds to line, and what size? Another trade secret?
Yep. I can't reveal that, but thank you for following my tattoos, and I really appreciate you tuning in. It's really awesome.
The masters never divulge, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of tattooers from all over the world asking you all kinds of tips. You can pick and choose which ones you want.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Funny, we were talking earlier about how every time I get tattooed, like I'm always just tempted to stop after the outline because I love the way that it looks, which essentially is what this is.
Yeah.
Finally doing it. It's awesome.
Yeah, that'll be real cool. And then you just got tattooed last week. Who tattooed you last week?
My friend Jasmine Wright tattooed me last week at Black Rose Tattoo in Temecula. Got this little birdie on my hand, little sandpiper for the new baby. What's that?
How's it healing?
Pretty good. There's some little flakes still, but no major problems. It didn't suck half as bad as I thought it would.
Yeah.
But luckily she's fast too, so.
My hands weren't bad. Some people's hands swell up.
I had a baseball mitt for about a day, but then it went down. But yeah, there was actually a spot like between my middle knuckles, like the little water down there. It felt so good. I was like, you know when you get like that perfect scratch on your back or something, you're like, yes, that's the one. It felt like that. It was very strange. Very strange.
Yeah, that's cool.
Let's see. What made you decide to take up tattooing as a career?
Actually, I was really into comic books growing up and animation altogether. And then, honestly, just flipping through tattoo magazines is really kind of what introduced me to tattooing. And I hate to say it, but I was a high school dropout, so college was not an option for me. So tattooing kind of just made the most sense.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love it a lot. And I love working with people and meeting new people and hearing their stories and, knowing that art walks around forever with that person. It's really cool. It's a huge honor.
I didn't know you're a high school dropout.
Yeah, I am. I usually don't like to talk about it.
No,
I don't condone it, but that just was the cards for me. How about you? Did you finish high school?
I did.
Yeah.
I finished high school and went to about 2 months of college.
Nice.
Me and Atreyu's guitar player Dan were enrolled in like a recording engineering course at Azusa College.
Yeah.
And the first day we went, and the teacher's like, some of you are here because you love music and you want to interested in recording music. Some of you are here because you guys are in bands and you think that this will just be your backup plan, or ditch the dream, give up the ghost. You're not going to be in a band. You're not going to make it. You're not going to live the life. Just give it up. And best case scenario, you can work on the other side.
Yeah.
And make records. And we're like, well, that's a lame thing to say the first day of school. So then, a month and a half, 3 weeks later, we got signed and to go to New Jersey to make our album. And we're like, hey, we're not coming here anymore. And in front of the whole class, like, oh, why? Too tough for you? We're like, no, we got signed and we have to go make an album in New Jersey, and we start touring in a month and a half. And
Now, what did her face look like?
it was a dude. He was pretty bummed. He looked pretty stupid.
Yeah.
And we never looked back.
I wonder if his presentation changed after
Yeah.
that happened.
He's all, you're not going to make it except for these one dudes that had a pretty successful career. They came here for a little while.
Yeah. Turn you just a little bit.
There was this one time I was wrong.
I actually had an algebra teacher tell me the same thing. I got busted in class for, I had a notebook full of drawing paper, and she caught me and she said, why do you spend so much time drawing? You'll never make a living do that. You need to pay attention to your stuff. And I had no interest in math.
The funny thing is, she said, you'll never make a living with art, but you probably will with algebra.
Yeah, which I was like, oh, okay. Well, definitely, I'll keep that in mind,
The best class I ever took in high school was funny because it was, at the time, I thought it was just dumb for being in the class. It was called business math.
Yeah.
And it was just like banking and how to balance a checkbook and
Okay.
but
you can actually
sales
use
taxes
that,
and
right?
you know what I mean? Real life math.
Yep.
I was like, I feel like I'm an idiot because I'm in this class, but then it was like, oh, this is actually the only math I ever really used outside of high school.
Yep. And having smartphones, it's like if you really have to figure out a math question.
That's what I'm saying too. When like you see all the stuff when they like the crazy calculators, it was like or they're like, you know, you need to figure this out. Like you're not just gonna have a calculator in your pocket in real life. It's like,
yep.
well, you're a fucking liar.
Yep.
Little did you know. Go back to the screen. So we're working with
no
here.
worries.
Okay.
Turn you one more time.
All right. Awesome design.
Cool. Good to hear.
Yeah. Hello from St. P, Russia. Far away. Hi. Shalom from Israel, and shalom to you as well.
Shalom.
Hey, I'm a high school dropout. Not a strong beginning, but now I'm a pastor at a church. Hey. See?
Yep. Got to follow your dreams, man.
Yep. Hi from Brazil. A lot of people around the world.
That's cool.
That's crazy. A lot of people around the world. Ooh, this is a good one for Jeremy, really. It's for you, but it applies. How did you get an opportunity to get with Sullen? That's one of my bigger goals as a tattoo artist.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean,
Tell 'em.
I can chime in, and if Jeremy wants to add, he can.
No, ours is a funny story.
Yeah. Well, I used to play in a band, believe it or not, for about 6 years. And I was actually telling Brandon before the break, we were heavily influenced by Atreyu and a lot of similar bands. And basically what had happened is we had gotten a sponsorship through Atreyu. I mean, this must have been close to 10 years ago. Or sponsorship through Solon, excuse me.
I was like, what sponsorship do we get?
No, through Solon, and you know, they always took care of us, and really, I just got along good with Ryan and Jeremy. The thing I liked is, I mean, at that time we were nobodies, you know. And it was really cool that they always showed us a lot of love, made us feel welcome, and I liked that. So even after the band split up, I kept in touch with these guys and continued to make art for them, and have got to see the progression of the brand, and they've helped me out and kind of got to see the progression of my tattooing, and we've always just remained friends, and I think I'm really grateful that they gave me the opportunity to make artwork for them, especially because at the time, you know, there was a lot of big name artists already doing stuff, and you could tell that didn't matter. It was just they wanted to surround themselves with people that were like-minded, like to make good artwork, and really cared about what they were doing. And so that's why I've always liked doing artwork for Solon. But yeah, anything you'd want to chime in on?
Well,
there?
the funniest part is,
Oh, you didn't know I tattooed, huh?
yeah, you being
Yeah,
as humble
that's right.
as you are, I'll never forget. You know, here I think we're homies, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, I don't know, months, maybe years after I had known you, you're all like, oh yeah, I tattooed too. I'm like, what? You never told me that.
Which was actually more my main thing than the band was. Like, you know, obviously, like, the band was a huge thing to
That's
me.
what I'm saying. Like, I thought we were homies. How did I
Yeah.
not know you don't tattoo? You know, but you never brought it up.
If you want me to be honest, it's one of those things where I kind of knew that, you know, I know you guys probably have so many people wanting handouts and like kind of name dropping, and so I was just like, I'll bring it up if it ever needs to, you know. So yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I probably would have been smart if I did a long time ago.
Well, how much more pleasant of an experience when all of a sudden, you know, the guy's like an incredible artist and tattooer.
Yeah.
So
Thanks, man.
my business partner Ryan, who makes all the decisions with what art comes in, I put a lot of art in front of him, but he's hard to impress. You know, like he gets a lot of stuff put in front of him, but
Which was a huge deal. I will say that when Ryan approved some of my drawings, and it was funny, like the first few times that Ryan was like, you know what, like I'm not really feeling this one, it bummed me out, but then I was like, man, I respect this guy, like he cares about what goes on the shirt, you know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, you know, we're friends, so I'll take whatever. So that kind of made me look at things a lot differently and respected the brand, because like, well, they won't just put anyone's art on there. Or,
yeah, I deal
you
with
know.
those conversations. They'll be like legends that I look up to and respect, and they're like, yeah, Ryan told me no. And I'm like, he did?
Oh, come on.
He did. I would love to have your art on a shirt. He's like, yeah, Ryan kicked me to the curb.
Yeah, and for me, it kind of helped me want to push. It's like, all right, well, I can't just slap something together and expect them to like it. I got to really put some time into it. So I think as an artist, it makes you want to work harder and put out better artwork. So it's not a bad thing for sure.
Well, now you've got a number of shirts with us. How many do you think you've done now?
I think it's around 5 or 6, which I mean, I was stoked on just doing the first one for you guys.
There's a couple more in the works. I know.
Yeah. I did one for the Chaloha
The Chaloha,
series, and then have a few more in the works that I'm talking to Ryan about, just kind of getting the concept down and stuff like that. But yeah, I love making artwork for Sullen, and I've always appreciated the respect and love I've gotten from these guys. So awesome.
What would you say to like aspiring artists that want to get involved with Sullen or trying to get on your radar? Like what's?
I tell everybody we're in. It's open door policy. Everyone's welcome to submit art. As long as they have thick skin and don't get their feelings hurt. If it doesn't get picked, because we do get art put in front of us all day, every day. But like Jacob said, Ryan isn't looking for rock stars. He's looking for good artists. So it doesn't matter if you got 600,000 followers or 6 followers. If he likes it, he'll jump on it. Not only that, but we enjoy being able to use our platform to get artists that may deserve more recognition, but we get a kick out of being able to get their name out there.
For sure.
But you guys know in the music, art, and tattoo world, there's a lot of egos. So
Absolutely.
if we feel
Too much ego.
if we sense that, we'll back off.
Yeah.
But if they're good dudes and seem like they're cool people to work with and the talent's there, then man, send it our way. We tell everyone,
Absolutely.
send it our way. Whether you're emailing it to us or hashtagging or DMing, we're looking at all of it, and if something catches our eye, Ryan will reach out and contact us. So yeah.
Well, there you go.
Send us art.
Send art. Let's see. So many worldwide. Sweden, Ireland, Canada.
Yeah, every once in a while, ask where everyone's from, and you'll start seeing all the countries.
Yeah, for real. Say where you're from. A lot of international people. Jacob, will you be coming to UK anytime soon?
You know what? I have two little ones at home, and if I'm to be completely honest, nothing is cooler than being a dad. As much as I love tattooing, so no travel plans as of right now.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come here.
Yeah, but I definitely, one of these days I'd like to get over that way, but nothing in the immediate future.
For sure. I hear you. I got a new baby, and I've been touring for over 10 years, and it is the hardest thing that I am having to deal with ever in the world.
Well, it's funny because you think you have your life figured out and your priorities, and then as soon as you have a kid, you're like, oh man,
It's different.
yeah. Not that what you do doesn't matter, obviously, but
Of course, yeah, it's just crazy. It's definitely a whole different feeling,
yeah. The cool thing, and I'm sure you can vouch for this, is I think having a supportive wife helps. My wife's very supportive of my career. It's not easy, but I feel like we have that respect, for each other, and it's good. It's good that they support what we do, and
You have to have that if you're gonna do what either of us do. You have to have that, or it won't work.
absolutely.
My wife is patiently sitting on the couch off camera with my 2-month-old daughter, hanging out, watching me get tattooed.
So shout out to the ladies.
Yeah,
for
shout out to the ladies.
holding it down.
Holding me down for the streets, babe. I wouldn't get to do or even be motivated to do half the stuff that I actually do if it was not for.
And that's one funny thing that I find interesting is like, I feel like I'm sure the same's for you, is people probably think you live this crazy, like, glamorous rock star life, but it's like, behind cameras, you're just a regular dude, you're a father or a husband and stuff, so it's kind of cool.
I mean, yeah, it's Charmin Triple Fly. I'm sleeping on that Egyptian cotton, but
Yeah, that's besides the point.
it's good. Just try to think of the most luxurious things to talk about.
So I got a question for you, Brennan.
Yeah.
What got you into music, and what inspired you to first, pick up a guitar or start writing lyrics?
My dad was always very musical. He was in bands growing up, and he was always just super into music. We used to call him Mr. Radio when we were younger because he knew like every song on the radio.
Oh, that's awesome.
Played saxophone and like So I think that's kind of where I got the itch just to like be interested in music. And when I was younger, elementary school, I wanted to get into band. And I thought I wanted to play saxophone. Like my dad started playing saxophone, realized I didn't care at all about saxophone or any wind instrument or brass instrument.
Yeah.
I just wanted to play drums.
Oh, cool.
So I would steal like the drumsticks from the band class and like always get yelled at because I'd be like playing the drum stuff when I was supposed to be like in my chair playing saxophone. And then I moved from Northern California to Southern California when I was in 7th grade. And that was like my opportunity to like get, okay, now I'm a drummer.
Yeah.
So like I started being in a band and they're like, oh, what do you play? I'm like, yeah, I'm a drummer. I've been playing drums for 4 years, which I totally hadn't. Got into band, started doing that. At the time was like really into punk rock and me and my brother would go to shows all the time, and like I just wanted to be on that end. Like,
Yeah.
I liked going to a show and seeing what a band did to people, especially like growing up in the punk scene. It's like people are like jumping off stage and going ape shit and like losing their minds because of what those dudes are doing and what those dudes are playing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I wanted to do that. So I started playing in bands when I was in like 7th grade, and never stopped from there. You know,
Cool,
and
man.
ever since it's just kind of expanded more and more and more into just wanting to create more and more music and expand and do more and more things. It's never faded. It's kind of just been this consistently growing kind of interest for making music.
I have another tough question for you. Because someone asked, about the Sullen thing, what would you say to someone watching that's, playing guitar in their bedroom or anything? I know the music industry can be kind of tough, but what
gross,
advice
yeah.
would you give?
The music industry is gross. It's like the worst actually.
Yeah.
But it's kind of thing where like you have to be great.
Yeah.
Like you have to and be honest with yourself about like your strong suits, Like if you're not a great singer, just don't sing in a band.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're gonna be in a band, like be great.
Yeah.
Be really, really good at what you do and like practice.
People can see
and
that, I
You
feel
can.
like.
And be honest, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the world is full of cookie cutters these days, so I feel like just be honest about what you're doing and be honest about what you want to create.
Yeah.
And if it sounds like something else, then great, that exists, and and there's bands that sound exactly like other bands that are massive. But just be honest about that and do what you love to do.
Oh, absolutely.
Other than that, it's like just play. Like you have to practice a lot to be good and for your band to be tight. You have to play shows for people to know who you are. You have to play shows for your band to be good.
Well, and that's another funny thing. This is something I'll say, and I'm sure you could probably agree with this. Is a lot of people don't see the behind the scenes stuff. People just see, oh, these guys make a lot of money, they're touring the world, but you didn't see, those hours and hours
see the
of sitting
build.
in the basement. Yeah.
No, it's like, and my whole band lives. Everyone lives in Vista, which is North County, San Diego.
Cool.
I live in Huntington Beach. So anytime we want to do anything, which is usually once or twice a week, we want to do any rehearsals or anything, it's an hour and 20 minutes. It's 3 hours of driving round trip to go and rehearse for 5 hours, and you know what I mean. And like it's dedication. You have to just be prepared to just do anything at the drop of the hat, But you just have to care. Like a lot of bands just don't practice, just don't care about playing shows and getting great. And it's like, you have to be. There's too many bands right now in the world and too many people trying to do what you're doing. So if you're not fantastic at it, then no one's going to care.
And I think that kind of correlates to tattooing too, because everyone wants to be known or big, in whatever they do, but I think it says a lot when you're just doing something that's honest and your passion kind of shines through,
Well, that's what's good about artists too. Like I love when artists have a thing and that's like, this is what I love to do, and that's what I do. It's like whether it's like photorealism or traditional or black and gray, whatever. It's like I love doing that, and that's my strong suit, and that's what I like. Every time I do one of those tattoos, it makes me the most happy. So that's what I do all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the same approach to art in any sense.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
If you're a painter or you like to you're a sculptor or a tattooer or whatever,
Yeah.
But see if there's any more questions.
Yeah.
A lot of
Don't want to hog up
Spanish.
everyone's time.
Sorry, we're just chatting away.
I have one quick question for you though. Who was your biggest number one influence? I know that's a tough one, but who would you say?
Musically?
Yeah. Like, was there like that standout band that really, or was there two?
I don't know. I mean, it's tough. Like, it was kind of like, for me, a lot of my musical inspiration and what I wanted to be wasn't specific people. It was, as cheesy as this could probably sound, it was like the feeling. Like when I was young, like growing up in the punk rock scene, like I said earlier, like I didn't have like a band or a dude I wanted to be like. I just wanted to make music that like would make people react, you know? Yeah. So I wanted to like make awesome like street punk. Yeah. And then I got into like the hardcore metal scene, so I wanted people to go crazier at our shows. Yeah. So I wanted to write heavier music, but I always looked up to I feel like the locals, like the bands I grew up with. I looked up to more, I think, than like the big rock stars. Like, yeah, I got into like the broader spectrum of music later in life. Like my dad, I was always into, you know, the Beatles and Tom Petty and you know, the greats, you know. Yeah. And Tom Petty, I guess, was always been a big one for me. Like I've loved Tom Petty since I was little. That's the greatest songwriter to ever live. But as far as like band inspiration, I was always inspired by just like local bands. Like there's Death by Stereo.
Oh yeah.
Bands. Like I followed Death by Stereo since I was 14, and would go to their shows and go nuts and drive hours to watch them play, and like think it was so rad when we got to talk to them. And like the original guitar player of Death by Stereo, his name's Ian. He's a really great friend of mine. He was in another band called the Decons that like went to high school with us, and they were like 3 years older than us, and we'd see them at like high school parties and be like, holy shit, like
there they are.
If we could just be like the Decons, like how good are they? Like they could do guitar solos, like you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Like there's a band called Adamantium from here, there's like a hardcore band. They actually and they played, we had them like reunite. They reunited about a year and a half ago, and I was on tour and I was like heartbroken. And like my wife was gonna go to the show and like FaceTime me and all this shit, and like it fell through. I was like heartbroken. And
it's understandable.
I got them to play our Christmas show this last December.
Oh man!
So because I was like, oh, I know I'll be there.
That's probably kind of surreal.
It was insane, and it was so awesome for me. And like they were one of those bands, like one of the first like local hardcore bands, where I was like, dude, like this band goes off. Like people go crazy when they play, and like it's so heavy and so emotional and like so aggressive. So I feel like a lot of that kind of stuff was like really inspiring for me at a young age. But
that's cool, man.
I mean, even to this day, it's like. I get most inspired by like the people that I work with, you know, my friends' bands and people that I write music with, and like dudes in my band. Like that's I don't know.
That makes sense, man.
It's a big one for me. So happy I managed to catch you guys live. Looking great. Is it looking great? I'm stoked. I hope so.
It's mostly the lighting and the makeup, I would say.
There was another question on here for you. Are you running a fan 7 or a 9 liner for that outline? What's your preferred liner grouping for traditional style pieces?
I definitely like bold lines. Again, I can't reveal any of those secrets.
No.
Yeah, I definitely, just to kind of spur off that question,
I like a design that's kind of easy to read, something you can see from far away and tell what it is. And something that's going to look good in, 20 or 30 years. So
that's the point.
Yeah, that's the best advice I could give you without giving away too much.
Dude, this is crazy. So I asked where people are watching from. I'm just going to read through this. This is nuts. Wales, Belgium, Croatia, Northern California, Serbia, Brazil, Poland, Albany, New York, another Croatia, another Brazil, Argentina, Houston, Finland, Scotland, another Poland. This is crazy.
Isn't that cool?
Worldwide. Dude, we're going worldwide.
That's awesome, man.
Portland, Oregon. As far as Portland, Oregon.
Brazil was cool, but I think
Portland? Yeah, that's cool. What's your favorite band of all time?
I'm trying to think. Other than Atreyu, I'm trying to think. I'm just kidding.
Thanks for the plug.
You know what? Honestly, Metallica has always been my favorite band.
That's a good one.
My brothers were always listening to it. Oddly enough, my mom listens to Metallica. So I think, back to what you were saying about just getting a feeling. Man, I remember being like, 11, 12 years old and hearing Metallica and just wanting to, go out and skate and just get pumped up. And yeah, I don't know. I think, I grew up in the punk and hardcore scene as well, and just like you said, watching people go nuts and go crazy. I actually just saw Metallica for the first time last month.
Really?
Yeah. So
it's rad because they still kind of rip.
Oh yeah. I mean, you would never guess they're as old as they are based on how they rock. But
yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's an easy one. For me, it would be Metallica.
I think I'll go Tom Petty.
Now, see, I do like Tom Petty, and
Have you seen the Netflix documentary on them?
Yep.
On
Yeah, I think it's called Running Down a Dream. It's
No.
so good.
I watched it twice.
It'll change your life.
dude.
Yeah, I'm a big Trump fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, he Petty and then Traveling Wilburys, which
Oh,
a lot of
yeah.
people aren't familiar with, which
Roy
is a
Orbison
sin.
and all
Yeah.
them,
Orbison, Petty, Bob
Was it George
Dylan,
Harrison?
George Harrison,
Yeah.
and Jeff Lynne.
Yeah. Great.
Like, and they made our record, and then Roy Orbison died.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
But it's like one of the greatest records of all time. And it's funny because like people talk about supergroups, like that is the real deal.
Yeah.
Like you had every dude, every biggest rock artist
Yeah.
in a band that just casually were like, oh, make a
I wonder what it
album.
was like to be in the room while they were making music.
I would
Just to
literally
imagine-
did anything for
Yeah.
that. Like that's insane.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's definitely my favorite of all time. Metallica though, that's dope.
Yeah.
See, everyone gives me shit because I like Metallica a lot, but
Yeah.
like, I really like the Metallica that people hate.
Yeah. Oh,
I was
no,
like,
yeah.
I'm a
You're real
Load fan.
Yeah.
I'm a Load fan.
Yeah.
I like hard rock.
Yeah.
Like, they cut their hair and they look pretty, but like the songs were good.
Yeah. And they've never been scared to try something new, and that's
No.
what I like, you
I
know?
don't care. Even if it was awful like Saint Anger, but
Yeah.
I back the new Metallica hard
Yeah.
though. It
I
sounds
do
like old
too.
Metallica, which is cool. It's kind of cool to like see, like I feel like they came back a little bit with Death Magnetic, where there was songs where it was like, oh shit, like,
Yeah.
like got the groove back, and then they fully came full force. I think with the new album.
I know there was a time period where Kirk Hammett kind of was not wanting to do
The solos that he was doing. So that's what I liked about Death Magnetic is he really came back hard with like
For sure.
the, you know, the 80s metal sounding solos. Really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. They're still just selling out stadiums around the world, so
Yeah.
killing it. Favorite album from Metallica?
mine. This is gonna bum a lot of people out, but I would say the Black Album, just because as a whole I feel like
That's not a bum out at all.
it encompasses all spectrums of what makes Metallica good vocally, you know.
And it's one of the best sounding metal records of all time.
Absolutely.
It's probably the best sounding metal record of all time.
Yeah. So if any Metallica fans are watching, I apologize, but yeah, that's hands down. Anytime I feel like you hear the Enter Sandman riff, you immediately start bobbing your head. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Now let me ask you something.
Who's one of your favorite bands to go on tour with or to play with? Is it too hard to name just one?
I mean, we've had a lot of fun with a lot of bands. I think we've done a lot of touring with Avenged Sevenfold,
Yeah.
and they've been our friends for a long, long time. So it's always fun when we get to tour together because it's like we hang out at home, so it's fun to just hang out on tour every day, you know?
So I was listening to your guys' because you had a song where M Shadow sings on it, right?
Yeah.
Was that on the previous album?
That was on the first Highwater album, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought that was really cool. I liked the vibe of the song, and I thought it was really good. How did that idea come about?
When I first started Hell or High Water, I mean, the first album I made 80% of it by myself, recorded
Oh,
it and
everything.
and then found a band and finished it. But when it was still just kind of like in its really early stages, I was writing music and just hit up Matt. I was like, hey
Yeah.
man, we want to write a song. I have this idea. It's kind of like a Tarantino Western kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I want to just see if you want to come together, write the lyrics with me, and put it, you know.
Oh, so he wrote the lyrics as
Yeah,
well for his part?
we wrote the lyrics together and kind of the melodies together, and originally recorded that song like in my friend's bedroom. My friend Ken Floyd recorded like 5 songs for me. When I first started, it was like my solo thing, and that was one of them.
That's cool.
So yeah, he was kind enough to do it, put it on the album, and it was something that people really, really reacted to.
Yeah.
So it's awesome. Like, even today, it was funny. Like, the new single came out, and so on Spotify and stuff, and we're looking at our numbers. Like, and we had kind of been dormant for about 2 years, and we're looking at the numbers, and we're like, holy shit! Like our song "Give Me Love" off our first album has like almost 900,000 streams. We're like, where the hell did that come from? Like,
Oh, wow.
I feel like last time I looked, it was like 200,000. And then the Go Alone, the song with Shadows on it, is at like 1.3 million or something. And I'm like, what the hell? Like,
Wow,
like
that's cool.
People are still liking this song. Like, that's cool. So it's funny. We kind of had this idea to play like a lot of the new stuff on tour. Like I feel like we got to bust out some of these old
Some of
songs.
the old
Like, people
ones,
are
yeah.
obviously listening, so
That's cool.
gotta do it.
There we go.
What are the people saying? What are the people saying? Looking good, dudes. Oh yeah, James Hetfield voice. That's good. Got one from Austria.
Oh, wow.
Yep, this is a diehard Metallica fan that doesn't like Saint Anger.
Oh, yeah.
I don't blame you, bro. Sorry.
alone.
Everyone gets a mulligan. Every band gets one mulligan.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Now let me ask you this. This might be a tough question,
Uh-huh.
but just like with Metallica, was there an album for Atreyu that you guys did where you guys just weren't clicking, or just like you guys were not? Because I'm sure when you guys get together, that magic happens. Was
Yeah.
there ever a record or a period in one of your guys' lives where you felt like, man, we just don't have the mojo that we usually have?
I feel like I've been happy with all of our albums. We have great songs on all of our albums. I think the one album that we've made that seemed not incohesive, but like after the fact was like, I think we were a little foggy and thought this was cooler than it was Congregation of the Damned.
Gotcha.
And that was those album we did right before we went on hiatus, and we had wanted to go back to a heavier sound, and we're still getting a lot of the pushback from the label, major label, and it was like, we do that, but we need singles still, we need this and that, and it was just kind of this like really hard push and pull between the band and the label, and just like internally that just kind of made us just like foggy.
Yep.
And I love, like I said, I love some of the songs. There's some of our, like there's three songs on that album that I still are like, yep, these are the ones, like we should have made 12 of these.
Yeah.
And we did some stuff on that album too that were still like really adventurous. Like the last song on the album was like a power ballad.
Yeah.
So it's
I
like-
like that album a lot, and I'm not
Thank
obviously just saying that, but
No, and there's parts about it I do too, but that's the one to me where it's like, it doesn't have the energy that most Atreyu albums have, and like the
Yeah.
feeling. Like, to me, like our first album captures something that every band's first album does. It's that excitement and like youthful, like we had everything to prove kind of songwriting, you know?
yeah.
So that for me is a huge one. Our album Death Grip on Yesterday is a really big like kind of statement piece for us, because that was a big like left turn for us. We started doing a little bit more of the kind of more rock stuff, and then Lead Sails for me is my favorite album we've ever made.
Yeah, that's another
Just because
good
it
one.
was like hard left. We were like, we don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. So we're gonna make whatever music we want.
Yeah.
We had same thing, like a ballad with slide guitar and like, you know what I mean? Like
But you guys are doing what you wanted. huh?
yeah, and it was just artistic freedom to the fullest.
That's cool, man.
But yeah, I mean,
I appreciate you sharing that, because I know that's kind of
it is. Everyone, it's like you never want to talk about your ugly kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes you got to, though.
But it's
I'm sure
like-
people will appreciate that, because I'm sure there's musicians watching that are wondering a lot of these questions,
Well, yeah, and it's all, I feel like honesty is, you got to be honest, you know?
Yeah.
People, like I said, people can read your bullshit meter.
Yeah.
It's like, I think people you could hear that there's something different on that album.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Questions. What machine are you lying for? Dude, all these questions, you should know by now that these are trade secrets.
Yep. I have a question for all the people watching.
Yeah.
Who on here has an Atreyu or Hell Highwater tattoo? Because I
Ooh.
know I've done at least 10 Live, Love, Burn, Die.
That's awesome. Dude, that's awesome.
And I'm sure anyone that tattoos can vouch for that, at least in Southern California.
Dude, Atreyu tattoos, I've seen so many. I've seen a few Hell or High Water tattoos so far, which is definitely awesome for us.
Yeah,
There's a kid in Australia that has a Hell or High Water tattoo, and we've never even been to Australia.
that's cool, man.
But yeah, the Atreyu tattoos are a lot. If you have an Atreyu tattoo, leave a comment, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
If he's done an Atreyu tattoo, leave a comment.
yeah. I know when the curse came out,
I did a lot, like around that time,
Yeah.
even though it wasn't from that one. But I did a lot of Atreyu albums, man. Now, do you guys get stoked when people get your lyrics tattooed on them?
I think it's rad.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, anytime someone's willing to like dedicate a lifetime thing to like your band, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that's awesome. And I mean, the worst is though I've seen a handful where it like they'll have lyrics, or for instance even something as simple as Live, Love, Burn, Die incorrectly. So it's like you're gonna go, you love a band so much, you're gonna go get
The wrong
something tattooed on you, incorrectly.
Yeah.
Which really just comes down to sheer laziness.
Yeah,
Where it's
absolutely.
like, I love them so much, but I could not possibly get on the internet and make
Yeah.
sure this is correct.
Yeah.
I've seen Live, Love, Die, Burn. I've seen a Live, Love, Learn, Die tattoo.
Oh man, if I'm to be honest though,
The first time I heard that song, that's what I thought it said.
but then
But then you like read a lyric or like
Yeah.
did
I
5
didn't get a
seconds of
tattoo,
research.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny, man.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. I'd love to meet you two. Misfits or Ramones? I say Misfits.
I was gonna say Misfits. Now here's another thing I'm gonna say that's gonna bum out a lot of people, maybe even you, is I'm actually a huge Michael Graves Misfits
I
fan.
am so heavily with you.
Okay,
man.
okay. I was like, he's probably gonna say
Misfits
Danzig.
fans hate that.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with the singer of the Hives, actually,
Yeah.
about the Misfits and how he fucking hates Michael Graves Misfits.
Oh,
and I'm
no way.
Such a sham. And I'm like, dude, it's so good.
It is good, man.
It's like pop Misfits.
Yeah.
And he's like, exactly, that's why it's terrible. I'm like, you have to just love it for what it is.
Yeah,
If you
absolutely.
love the old Misfits and Danzig Misfits,
Oh, yeah.
you want that production, you want that dark, just gritty, gross, music. That is a gem.
Yeah.
But you gotta recognize good. Like the Michael Graves stuff is so
Yeah.
incredibly good.
Cool.
We walked out at our wedding into our reception to a Misfits song.
What song?
It was it Helena?
Oh yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah, his acoustic stuff is great too. Have you heard that album?
No.
His acoustic album.
Didn't he just go off the deep end for a while?
I haven't heard anything, but
Like right when he left the Misfits or got kicked out or whatever, he went off the deep end. Like
Oh man, it's a bummer.
his voice is so
Yeah,
fantastic.
he has a great voice. Yeah, I remember when we were playing music,
We'd always play Dig Up Her Bones. That was like our go-to cover, And anytime there'd always be that one Misfits fan that would boo us. Or
Fuck
go,
you, yeah.
Danzig.
Yeah, dude. I love that shit. I mean, I love the Danzig Misfits too.
yeah, oh yeah, it's great.
Boom, boom. Shout out to SullenTV for this much love and respect.
Cool.
This person doesn't realize that we're reading. She's like, "Are you seriously reading the comments?" Well, yeah.
Yeah.
What are we here for? That's awesome. There's still like 200 people watching.
That's cool.
Badass. Bad ace.
Maybe we'll get a talk show out of this, man.
Dude. Coffee talk?
Yeah, we'll just talk music and tattoos.
Hey, we're here. Yeah. We're on a room eventually.
Yeah.
Today, Jacob's going to be tattooing over the tattoo we did last week. Always said that. Like, I've seen some friends that have tattoos that they maybe didn't want or suck, whatever, and they
Yeah.
just get it actually looks kind of rad. Get just a black design kind of over it, and it just looks kind of like tie-dye underneath or something.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's actually a huge thing, and people watching that know tattoos probably know they're called blastovers. But yeah, that's a popular thing, man.
Our singer Alex had a humongous chest piece like this, his entire chest, and I think the dude just beat it to hell. And he got it covered a couple of years ago, and you can't even tell, but I can only imagine. I know how bad it feels to get your chest tattooed, and then to get it done again over, it's just brutal.
Yeah.
I have a friend named Johnson, and he has his whole body tattooed, and literally he's gotten most of it covered up, almost his entire body re-tattooed.
Man.
How bad do you hate your shit?
Yeah. Now let me ask you this, 'cause I'm sure a lot of people watching want to know too. Do you have any tattoos you regret, man?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't have
that's
any
good.
that I don't like. I like all my tattoos.
That's good,
I
man.
have one tattoo that I'm bummed about only because it fell out so bad, and I probably will never see the dude again.
Okay, I would say we don't have to say his name.
Yeah. And I don't think it was his fault.
Yeah.
I got it on. He was in a band we were touring with, and I got it on tour, and it's on the inside of my arm.
Gotcha.
So I was on tour with a tattoo, playing drums every day, with a tattoo on the inside of my arm, healing.
That's cool.
So it wasn't all his fault, but definitely sucked. Yeah, I don't regret any of my tattoos.
Now let me ask you this: have you had any uncomfortable fan moments? Because I know sometimes people get so obsessed with bands, and if you don't want to reveal it, that's fine.
I don't think so. I don't think
Yeah.
I've had anything that crazy. People ask us to sign weird things and
Oh, gotcha.
get really excited, which I get. I understand, but I've never been that kind of person. Like, I feel like even if like Tom Petty walked in the room right now, I wouldn't like start hyperventilating and like scream and yell at him and shit.
Yeah.
Like try to like touch him.
Yeah.
I would just be like, oh shit, that's
Get a
Tom
lock of
Petty.
his hair.
Yeah, right. Like, so like that's more the awkward. Like, how do I respond to you freaking out?
Yeah.
To make you one start freaking out less,
Absolutely.
and two not like offend you.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be like, stop loving me so much.
Yeah.
Because then you're an asshole too.
I have a pretty cool question for you.
Who is a musician that you would love to like collaborate with or like write music with, even if you don't even know?
Yeah,
Like,
I
is
feel
there
like
some-
I feel like this is such an obvious answer, but I mean it. Dave Grohl.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Like, I think
And
that
that's a good one.
not only I think that we would get in the room and make killer tunes, but I feel like it'd be like a good hang too. I feel like we're both just like idiots and. Funny
you met
in
him
our own
yet?
Right? No.
Yeah, that's cool.
We went to his studio. We were talking to this producer actually for Congregation of the Damned that we were supposed to make the album with. It didn't end up working out. Which is a fun fact for any Atreyu fans that are watching, is this guy Nick Raskulinix was supposed to make that album, who has done many insane albums, and he actually was slated to do the Deftones album,
gotcha.
That why it didn't work out?
and it got pushed up, so couldn't do our album, but it was a bummer. But that Deftones record was insane, so I'm glad he did it.
That's cool.
But we were at Studio 606, which is Dave Grohl's studio in LA, and we were like pulling up as he was like walking out the back door. No, so close.
Man, yeah.
But it just seems like it'd be a good hang.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
And he
man.
makes great music.
It's like nothing he makes sucks. You know, it's always good.
Yeah.
And then to be in two legendary bands, it's like, man.
Yeah, you're stuff. You're just living the dream.
And I hear he's still a down to earth dude, you know?
Yeah, I don't think he cares. Like, he just loves to play music.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, that'd be my big one. I feel like that's a lot of people's big one.
Yeah.
But I'm really into writing music with people that do something totally opposite as me.
Yeah.
Like, I've written a lot of like more like pop or even like hip hop music in the last like, year or so.
Yeah.
And that's fun to me because it's like I'm learning something and I can, you know what I mean?
Now, if a hip hop person wanted you to sing on their song, would you do that, or would that
100%.
not be some? Yeah, I feel like that'd be kind of cool. I like
100%.
some rock and hip hop kind of mix.
Yeah. I'm all about the collaboration.
Yeah.
I do a project called American Gentleman. We're actually playing the show, the Highwater show on April 14th.
Nice.
But it's gonna be our first live show. But it's just like it's me and this other producer who goes by C4, and he's like great in his own right in like the hip hop and R&B world. Has tracks on so many big records, and we make it's like rock influenced hip hop, but it's like real drums and hip hop drums, and he raps and I sing and he sings, and it's
Yeah.
like Gorillaz meets that kind of vibe. But it's just so much fun because it's so different than anything I do otherwise.
That's cool, man.
It's such a cool creative outlet.
Now, I have another question for you.
What was like the first big moment, like being a musician? Like, can you recall like the first time where you were just like floored, like, man, I can't believe this is happening. This is so awesome.
Yeah, when The Curse came out,
Really?
this was the first one.
Yeah.
The first big one. Well, the first like it was big to me at the time, but when our first album came out, our first week happened, and we sold like 1,500 copies of our album first week. And we're like, holy shit, 1,500 people bought this. And we're like, cool. And in my head, it was like, that's it. Like, I can't believe we sold 1,500.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, like, the next week, it happened again. And we're like, whoa, wait, this happens every week?
You're like, what's going on here?
Yeah, like, wait, so people are going to keep buying this?
Yeah.
So that was the first. The first big one, when The Curse came out, we did a signing at, lost a plug.
Something come out? Oh,
We did a signing at,
Go to commercial.
yeah. We did a signing at Virgin Megastore at the Block in Orange.
oh, nice.
And
Which is cool because you guys are from Orange County too.
for sure. And we're like, this is dumb. Like, we're going to do like a signing? Like, we're a hardcore band.
Yeah.
And
A lot of kids came out, huh?
dude, we got there like what, 2 hours early, babe? Hour early? And we're like, oh, we'll grab some food and like chill and then go do the signing. And there was like a line around the entire block. If anyone's ever been to the block in Orange, it's like a massive outlet mall.
Yeah.
There was a block line around the entire thing, and we couldn't walk around. Like we couldn't. It was like fucking the Beatles. Like people were like, kids are like screaming at us and shit. We're like, what is this?
Bro, what's happening?
We've never like we are Joe Schmo hardcore band from
Yeah.
Orange County, so it was like, what happened?
That's
and we
cool.
went and we were supposed to do this. There was a contest winner that was going to have dinner with us after the signing.
Really?
And it was like, and we're like, again, for us at the time, we're like, this is weird. Like, some kid's gonna, like, why? Why does he want to, we're gonna go to, like, TGI Fridays and, like,
Yeah.
hang out? Well, it was supposed to be, like, the signing was supposed to be from, like, 5 to 6:30 or something. And we were gonna go to dinner. We ended up signing from, like, 5 to, like, 8:30 or 9.
That's cool, man.
Because, like, people were there. We're like, we can't just, like, go ahead and cut off the line.
Yeah.
So we ended up, like, going to TGI Fridays with this kid at, like, 10 o'clock at night.
That's cool, man.
But yeah, that was the first time that was like, what the fuck is actually happening here?
That's cool, man. Now, let me ask you this. When you guys wrote that album and you're in the studio hearing it back, did you guys kind of know that it was going to have like the impact it did? Or were you guys just like, oh, we're stoked on this record?
We were pumped, and I think that we were mostly stoked because it really sounded like us. It didn't sound like anything else that was out at the time,
Yeah.
to us at least. But I feel like we put so much thought into that album that like it made sense
cool.
that it made sense that it translated. Like we wrote our first album, and it was like you have your whole life to make your debut album, and it finally comes out, and we're like cool, like, and it had success. So the fire in the belly was like crazy because it was like, oh, we're gonna make a record. Like we have to keep going. This trajectory has to keep going. So we wrote every song, we demoed out every song, like paid a dude to like come and like, you know, record well, like every song, had the whole record like in order recorded before we even went to make the album.
Oh, wow.
So it was like when we went to make the album, it was literally just like going to essentially re-record it and have a producer kind of like, you know,
Overlook it?
overlook and
Yeah.
put his stamp on it. We had never done that, obviously, and it was just like we put so much thought and so much energy into the album that it made sense that it connected.
Yep.
And I just think for that album it was the right time for that album to come out.
Yeah.
You know, in the landscape, there was nothing really like it at the time.
Yeah. I'm 30. I don't know how old a lot of people watching, but I know for me being into heavy music, that was like a huge album. And I'm not just saying that. I just remember hearing that album being like, holy cow, man, right? Because the intro is Bleeding Mascara, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first heard that, you just instantly want to start punching people, you know? And like, I don't know, it had that, you know, it had that feeling like you're talking about where you just get fired up right when the album starts. And
Absolutely.
I think that's super awesome, man.
And we definitely were very happy. And I think that, just like I said, like, it was this weird time where like really heavy music became almost accessible for the first time.
Yeah.
In a long time, really. Like, you have like, you know, like Metallica and metal like that, but it's,
Yeah.
they're singing, and it's like,
Yeah.
but like, we, you know, like Right Side of the Bed and stuff was like getting airplay on the radio and shit.
So
It was
cool.
just like, what, like that didn't ever happen for hardcore bands at all.
Yeah.
Like they were playing us on like MTV, and we just had these weird opportunities that like, it was this cool time for music where like the world opened up a little bit more and was okay with people screaming
Yep.
all the time.
I remember, fun fact, a buddy of mine, we snuck backstage at a Warped Tour. It was in San
That's
Diego. And we actually got to be on stage when you guys played.
Oh, awesome.
This was, man, what year was this? This was probably like 2004. Does that sound about
Five.
right? Five.
We
Okay,
did
yeah.
Warped Tour 5, yeah.
Yeah, 2005. And yeah, it was really cool, you know, getting to see you guys
For sure,
play
yeah.
from the stage, you know.
That's awesome that you told me earlier. He was in the Becoming the Bull video.
Yeah, I actually,
Yeah.
yeah, and what really sucked, between takes, because there was a scene where we're all running into the alleyway.
Yeah.
I was running full force, tripped over someone's foot, and just slid. But I was so fired up. I was like, oh, who cares, you know? But that was just one of like, I was like, man, you know, things you do for bands, you know?
That was such a long day.
Yeah, and I was like, what was funny, because that was my first time like going to a video shoot. I always thought, man, videos must be so fun to make. But then after seeing how many takes they had to do, I was like, this looks terrible. You know, it doesn't look fun at all.
That day was so damn long. Fun fact.
Yeah.
Fun fact. Alex really wanted to wear a shirt in that video.
Oh yeah.
We made him not wear
Yeah.
a shirt. Someone just said, Brandon, do you listen to any New York hardcore bands?
I do.
I like Madball and I like H2O. And what about you? You like the New York hardcore bands?
You know, I can't say I know that they're from New York, but if I'm gonna be honest, I think I'm more of a metal guy than I am hardcore.
Yeah.
So that would definitely be your take right there.
I'd say Madball and H2O are my first.
Yeah, those
my
are
favorite.
those are good ones.
This is looking so awesome.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we're getting close to being done, man.
Which I'm sure is nice for you when it's not long, huh?
Oh yeah, wonderful. I love fast tattoos.
Yeah. Now, you said something earlier about Atreyu working on a new album.
Yeah, we're gonna kind of start writing new songs. We're actually meeting them next week to start writing some new songs, and we're just getting the Hell or Highwater album cycle started. In a couple weeks, we start touring, and the album comes out in May, so we'll be touring for the next year or so. And kind of while we're doing that, when I'm home and stuff, we'll be writing new Atreyu music and probably getting into the studio at some point.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you guys, is it too early to like have a direction or a sound or any vibe that you guys want for this record? Or are you guys just going to get in the room and jam and see what happens?
Kind of. It's a bit early. I feel like we're really going. I feel like, and bands say this. I feel like this next record is going to be one for the fans. I feel like this last record we went like kind of back to the roots. We got really heavy, and it felt like Long Live could have came out after Death Grip on Yesterday. Like, if we wouldn't have gone more rock with Red Sails, the other way would have been Long Live, which is like cool. This is like a cool timestamp, and I feel like this last album cycle has really like put in the forefront of like what our fans love about the band. You look at our top, 15 songs around the world, and it's the same around the world. It's the same.
Oh, that's cool.
10 to 15 songs.
So you guys
and it's
kind of
like,
know what.
and it's like this is what they love, and it's funny because they're really. The coolest part is that it's like they're our favorite songs too.
Oh, that's
so it's
good,
like wow, like our fans love what like our favorite shit too. So it's like I feel like that might be a little bit of focus is just like what do they love and what do we love about our band? Like let's give them that.
That's cool,
because
man.
Like it came to our realization for the first time that it's like wow, like our fans and us have our we want the same thing.
Which is nice.
Which is rare, I think.
Quick question: do you want? I was gonna do all these small leaves jet black.
That's
do you
dope.
want it all just lines?
No,
I
dude.
I was
no.
only gonna do the small.
Yeah, do those black. That's
okay,
cool.
Yeah. 'Cause I think it'll give it some contrast.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's cool. Now, do you guys, I mean, I don't know if this is something you can answer, but, a lot of the fans of Atreyu that are my age, have all grown up over the years. Would you say that the new album brought in a lot of younger kids?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When we were gone for 4 years and went out on tour again, and it was like, oh my God, so stoked, like, I'm seeing you for the first time, and blah, blah, and you're like,
cool.
And so many people would be like, dude, like, I found your band and looked you up on Spotify and then realized that you stopped touring 3 months before.
Dang,
So I've been waiting
cool.
4 years to see you. Or I found you last year. Or like, I found your vinyl in my brother's record collection last year.
cool,
Like, a lot of that, which is awesome because, I mean, we started touring and expected to come back and just, have kind of an older crowd. And it really was like, it was the same as it ever was.
That's cool.
There's some people, obviously there's the older crowd there. And like, it's funny because now they're just like, yeah, man, like got a sitter and I'm stoked. Like I'm having some beers and watching Atreyu. But like, which is cool. But there's so many like still young kids. Like, we did Warped Tour this last summer, and it was like we're like, I wonder how that's gonna go. We haven't done Warped Tour since we were 2005. Like that's been a long time. Like it's a very young crowd at Warped Tour, and it like crushed. It blew our minds.
I actually caught the San Diego show. I caught you guys play in San Diego, and it definitely made me feel old being there, man. But there was some bands that I wanted to see. But yeah, it definitely seemed like you guys had a lot of younger kids in the crowd. So
it's fun, man. I think it's just because Dan's so cute, so
yeah, it looks like he hasn't aged at all.
He's a cute little guy. He really hasn't. Looks exactly the same.
That's cool, man.
But yeah, it's pretty awesome. We're stoked. We're very fortunate to still have, appeal to such a wide like age range,
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So, no one ever wants to be the old guy band.
No, absolutely.
But also no one ever wants to be the kiddie band.
Yeah.
We're in this really lovely place where we kind of have both.
Any questions from people?
I'm gonna check it out right now. Damn you, coil machine, for ruining the conversation. I'm guessing that the machine's blasting out.
Yep.
How long have you been tattooing me right now? Like, not very long.
Yeah,
You're fast.
Maybe 30, 40 minutes.
Super duper fast. Can we ask things to the tattooer? Yes.
Yeah.
That's what this is for. People are just interested. They're just watching.
That's cool. Thanks.
There's more people watching now, but they're
Really?
not asking a lot of questions. They're just watching.
You're probably wondering why we're in a dark room.
Someone said, "You see how he works? One pass, not three."
Ah, thank you. Who was that?
Curious 175.
Thank you, Curious.
Yes, this is a full black tattoo. There's going to be no color.
Yep.
There's also going to be no shading. This is a designer liner, if you will. Did I just coin this style of tattoo?
Yeah, I think you did. Man.
Hey man, I want to come in and get like a designer liner piece. I'm going to need to trademark that real quick.
Yeah.
Maybe I missed some questions. There's a lot like
I got a question for you. How'd you get in touch with Sullen? Or like, how did the Sullen and
I
come into play?
I met Jeremy a long time ago through like kind of friends of friends through the Avenged guys actually.
Cool.
So I've known him for years, and we kind of got more involved on the music side with Hell or Highwater when we first started. I was really good friends with this guy Johnny, who owns Johnny's Saloon in Huntington Beach.
Nice.
And he was a huge with helping us out with like, we would do cool like party bus things from the bar, and he would like help promote the band, and SullenTV actually helped do the music video for a song we have called Wrong. We filmed it like next door to Johnny's, and they edited everything, and like it was just like really cool, like family vibe, and they helped us out. So we've been kind of doing stuff together and collaborating for the last 4 years or so.
That's awesome.
But originally just met through friends.
Yeah, they're good people, man.
It really are. It's like I said, family vibe. You know, it's like they're very aware of the. I'm like everyone's got to work together or nothing works kind of thing, and they get that. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
everyone can be good and everyone can be successful and everyone can do cool things together.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of companies, a lot of people are very just like, nope, stay away from my shit. And
Yeah.
like this is mine. I don't want to involve anyone. It's like, no, we can all have fun here.
Yeah. Or they just want to get what they can out of you, and that's it.
When you're also building a culture. You're building a scene.
Yeah.
Sullen is not a clothing company or a video streaming. It's a culture. Like people look to this brand as like for everything, for tattoos, for art, for music, for all this stuff, and it's like they've created something that is definitely very special.
Absolutely.
We're almost done. Just got
Cool.
three little leaves back here.
Awesome.
Oh, thank you for that light. That's cool, man. That people from around the world are tuning in. That's really cool.
Yeah, I can't believe that. Whoa, a lot of questions. Nice machine. Had a lot of inspiration and progress in your work. Cool. What tubes are those?
Yeah.
Nope. Nope.
Yep.
The girl/bear headpiece you did on Ben was unreal.
Oh, thank you.
Good
Who
friends.
said that?
Petman Vince, he's good friends with him and Alyssa.
Awesome. Thank you, Vince. I appreciate it very much.
Someone from the Caribbean.
Oh, man. If only we could be there right
Yeah,
now.
let's go there next time.
That's another question. Is there anywhere you want to travel that you haven't already been?
Oh man, I've never been to like a lot of the Asian countries.
Yeah.
I've only been to Japan. Never been to Russia or Eastern Europe. I'd really like to go to like, we've never been to South America.
Yeah.
A lot of places I've never been. As far as just playing or not playing, anywhere tropical.
That's cool.
I want to go. We went to Tahiti 2 years ago for vacation, and it was
Amazing.
one of the best experiences of my whole life. And I just want to go back and do that like twice a year.
Yeah.
So good.
Now, do you see yourself slowing down at any time with music, like to do family stuff or anything like that? I mean, it seems like you got a good balance right now, but
Yeah, I think it's right now. It's all about making it work and making it like really creating a balance.
yeah, absolutely.
Like I'm flying home multiple times on this next tour to see my wife and daughter.
Yeah.
So it's like do whatever you have to do to make it work, and then eventually I think you can make touring work and make a family on tour, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And like create a life out of what we do. A lot of people think you can't. It's like, man, this is the road. And then
Yeah.
it's like, no, like just do your life and do your family
Yeah.
just on the road.
Yeah.
This is what you do. Like, so as far as making music, I don't
Just
think
gonna black those little
Yeah,
things in, and I think that's it.
I don't think I'll ever slow down making music. I've
That's cool.
sped that up in the last like 2 years, so that only seems to be getting more and more consistent.
That's cool. How was the tattoo overall? Not too bad.
Oh, not bad at all. Like I said, I've been having Rich Pineda work on my stomach for about a year and a half due to my puss out. No fault to Rich. And he's got a lovely, gentle hand and everything, but just the stomach sucks so bad.
Yeah.
So literally any tattoo, it feels so good compared to my stomach. But I have to finish that tattoo.
So I think that's it. That's a
Lovely.
wrap. Did you want to answer any more questions before we wrap
See if
it up?
there's any more hanging. I think people are just watching.
That's awesome.
Oh, I thought that. Oh, never mind. That's in Russian. I don't know how to read these. Keep going. What seems to be. What were some of the tough struggles you guys faced to make it where you are now?
Go ahead. I'll let you go.
Yeah.
I need some time.
Just adjusting and
Yeah.
and dedicating yourself to something. It's
Yeah.
not easy to fully dedicate yourself to like a career or a craft.
Yeah.
It's very trying and can be difficult most of the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you just have to. That's the only way you succeed is if you fully just dive head first.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part, really.
Yeah, I agree completely. Another thing that I dealt with a lot is everyone has their idea of the right way to do things. You know, people would be like, oh, I don't think you should do that. But
Yeah.
I think sometimes you got to go with your gut, or you got to ask yourself too, who's telling you this? Is
Yeah.
it someone that wants you to see you do good, or is it
It's
someone
hard to
that-
know what the right advice is.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but I think what you nailed it on the head. It just comes down to just making it happen. You know,
Yeah.
being very passionate about it and just doing it.
A couple other ones came in. Let's see. What would you tell the people that really want to become a tattooer as good as you? And what advice would you give them? That kind of goes to the same question.
First off, I don't feel like I'm in the category of really good, but thank you.
Yes.
I don't know, man. I say, and you would probably agree, is you're nothing without the people that support what you do.
Yeah.
You know, I try to just give my clients the best experience possible.
Absolutely.
Try to give them my best work I can, and make them feel special. You know what I mean? Like it is easy to get caught up in like, this is just a job, but I enjoy, getting to know people, hearing their
Yeah.
stories. So, yeah, I mean, that's a tough one. I just say, ignore the naysayers, do what you love and make sure that your number one priority is to just do really good tattoos and put the client first. That's the shortest way I could think of a way to answer it.
Absolutely. That's a good one.
Thanks, man.
Let's see. OctopusArt.net wants to know if we still play Suicide Note songs. Yes.
Nice.
Every single show. At least one.
What's like the number one song that people shout out from the crowd?
Everyone
what's your
wants to hear
Freebird?
Everyone always wants to hear Lip Gloss.
Yeah.
Everyone always wants to hear Becoming the Bull.
That's cool, man.
One that we don't play, a lot of people call out, is Aim of Grand off of our first album.
What makes you not want to play it? You're just not into it?
It's like our first single, and it was
Okay.
like it's one of the oldest songs we have.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where like it'll be cool, we'll pull it out every now and then. You're like, oh, that's
Yeah.
fun. And then like 3 nights in, you're like, I'm done.
I'm
That
done.
one.
I
You know
can
what I
never
mean?
play that again.
It's like if you like from like age 18 to like 22,
Yeah.
you only ate macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
Like around 28, you'd be like, oh, mac and cheese was dope, and then you'd eat like 3 times and be like, no, I don't
Yeah.
think I want it anymore.
Not
still.
anymore.
Yeah, but that's probably the biggest one. Brazil.
Wow.
Yeah, this is all for today. We're done. This is a short and sweet, awesome tattoo.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
appreciate it. Be sure
Thank
to check
you.
these guys out.
We're
Yeah.
gonna do a close up of the tattoo. So pull it out.
And if you live in Southern California
Got it.
and you're not doing anything Friday, April 14th in 2 weeks, come to the observatory and see Hell or High Water play a live show. I'll be there with my new tattoo.
Turn your arm a little bit.
This way?
Yep.
Salarosa.
Cool, guys.
It looks like I have the dirtiest elbow of all time. That's not ink, that's just my elbow.
Cool.
That's awesome, dude.
That's dope.